Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Caleb, also known as the Fanatic, I guess. That may or may not stick. We'll see, but it works. Yeah, and yes, the pun was fully intended. So always intend your puns, folks. Anyway, this is my very first video I'm doing on my new channel, and it's going to be focusing on the Trenchworx Finnish BT-42. So you can see up in the corner, this is their snap tray kit. I know in the past they've offered I think a resin or a casted version of this model. And as far as I know, this is the very first snap tray that they've done. If you're not familiar with Trenchworx and their snap tray vehicle kits, look them up. They have a lot of options now. They're very, very high quality resin prints, supported very, very well. And yeah, and just everything about them and the way that they come, and just very high quality. I love their stuff. So and we'll get into all that, but I'm hoping that this is going to be maybe turn into a mini series. Not only am I going to show you just my modeling process, in this video, just how I go about removing supports, cleaning everything up. But I think I'm going to get into maybe how I'm going to approach painting this thing. So, of course, I'm going to do a cool Finnish tricolor scheme on here, because why not? And so I'll show you kind of how I mask off to do the camouflage scheme via an airbrush, and then probably I'll do another video just focused on washes or oil washes, which are kind of my new jam, I guess. And then I'll go into just all the extra details and the weathering process that I've been doing lately. So yeah, without further ado, let's open this up. So notice right away, yeah, I love the artwork they include on here, and I always repurpose these boxes either to store minis, or if I'm shipping models out, or just whatever. They're nice sturdy boxes. So looks like this model came in a bag, plastic bag. It's little added protection. And then you can see, even through the bag here, there's snap trays. They have this, usually have something rigid on the outside, some sort of structure to protect it, in transit. If you've ever worked with resin, you know how finicky it can be. It's kind of hard to find, a good balance with resin between you want something that's going to be really high quality and that's going to print really easily, but you also want something that's going to be kind of rigid. And so I don't know the exact resin that Trenchworx uses, but I do know that it is pretty durable. And you'll see once I remove these supports and whatnot, they just do a great job all around. And I am not supported, like, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'm not supported in any way by Trenchworx. I'm just a fan of what they do. And so any place that is offering, high quality options for bolt action that just aren't really being done anywhere else, obviously I'm going to get behind and support. So, yeah, but you can see all the pieces are there. Got a few guns. You've got, looks like the exhaust back there. You've got the turret that's separated. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any damage or any sort of chipping. Sometimes the tracks, especially if there's any imperfections, you'll notice those right away. But yeah, this looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, and I'm going to give this thing a bath in hot water. That's going to help loosen up the supports. And once I get these off, I will go ahead and show you what the model looks like. We're going to see how, if these supports, if they're too deep and they're leaving a bunch of divots, or how cleanly they're removed. And yeah, I will be back in just a minute with a video. Awesome. All right, so you can see here I've got just left the model in some hot water just for a couple minutes. Um, Nothing crazy. Kind of just makes it a little more flexible. You do have to be careful that you don't use too hot of water. Also, you want to be careful that as you're removing some of the smaller pieces especially, you're not running into, you're not accidentally snapping anything or getting out of place. So yeah, I'm just gonna see these supports come off pretty easy. Little evidence there. You can see on the bottom of that one especially, but that should clean up pretty easily. And it's not really somewhere where you're gonna really notice or see that anyway. So yep, a lot of these supports are just peeling right off, which is great. Yeah, not too bad there. So anything where like they're in here, I'm just gonna have to get my tweezers and start picking at them. Actually, I'm gonna put them back in the hot water, so those will be easier to loosen up in just a second. But just love when supports come off easily. Same thing with this one. I'm just gonna put that in the hot water, and we'll get some of these smaller pieces off. I'll put that one back in there, just in case there's anything sticking. Not quite sure what these are, but get them sorted. Well, like I was saying, I just love how, compared to other 3D models I've gotten before, I do really enjoy how easy it is to get these supports off on these Trenchworx models. Yeah, look at that. Just came right off. Yeah, very little support evidence on the bottom, especially. I love that. Because anyone knows me very well knows I don't like spending a lot of time cleaning up prints. So I'm going to throw this back in there too. So yeah, I'm going to throw that back in the hot water for just a second, and then I will get off any of the remaining supports, and then I will show you what it looks like all put together. All right, so I've got her all put together. So most of the pieces are just dry fit on there, but the gun to the turret and these little pieces where the road wheels attach up front, those have all been glued. But the tracks, obviously the turret is not glued. And then this exhaust area back there hasn't been glued down yet. But yeah, everything fits together really well. For the most part, there's minimal evidence of support. You can kind of see at the bottom of the turret here. I don't know if you can see that. That should be pretty easy to cover up. I'll either use a little putty, or I'll use potentially, if it's shallow enough, just some like gloss clear coat or something, some brush on stuff, and just kind of smooth that out a little bit. I didn't notice any warping or any places where the print failed. Except for right here, you can see this is not necessarily a perfect circle. I think it's supposed to be like maybe, some sort of filtration or allowing air to get into the tank, but not a big deal. It looks like it just that one side ended up a little flat. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you can see all the nice details and the rivets. Everything I think's coming through pretty good. All right, well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for my first video on this channel. I just appreciate the support so much. Yeah, if you feel like you have a better understanding about Trenchworx and their snap tray products specifically, go ahead and yeah, hit that like button. If you want to talk fins or talk about bolt action or talk about hobbing or just whatever, feel free to comment. I'm sure I'll be looking through the 1 or 2 comments I get, and we'll be able to give you a a thoughtful response. But yeah, but I am really excited just to share more, about my hobby process and about my Finnish army specifically. I think out of all the wargaming projects I've done in, the last few years, this has definitely been the one that I'm just most excited about. So, yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you're tuning in from. And yeah, I hope that you are very blessed. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.